This week on Convincing Idiots, our main topic, which is our favorite cartoon characters or shows that we would like to see as adult themed. We're going to give that top 5 list and so much more this week. You're glad you tuned in. So why are you listening to me? Listen to the rest of us and let's start the show.
Enjoy your whatever that is.
All right. Test.
4, 3.
What's going on? Welcome back to episode 299 of Convincing Idiots. I'm Millennial Nick, alongside Gen X B and the Zennial Dean. And now, guys, I must warn you,
Still don't
real
like it.
quick, parental advisory. There is some explicit content, perhaps, on the horizon this week. For episode 299, we are going to each be bringing.
Why do you not say that in the beginning of every episode when we start?
It's about to get real bad now. No.
Yeah, you might want to watch who's listening.
We're each going to give 3 animated characters, casts, whatever, animated shows in perhaps a more serious adult or dramatic context. So, we'll just start right now. Maybe you'll get the gist of it once we start going here. So,
sure.
Dean, why don't you go ahead and give us your 3?
Okay. My 3 are as followed. Garfield and Friends as serial killers. Captain Planet in an apocalyptic setting. And Looney Tunes porn.
All right.
Probably already exists.
It does. I found it.
So.
Yep, it does. Yeah, it does. All right, Brian.
Okay, I have Scooby-Doo Zombie Hunters.
Okay.
And this, on my shirt here, if you're watching us on video, Thundar the Barbarian is just more violent. I'll just say that. We'll explain more later. Just not even more violent, but just violent, adult violence. And similarly, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a darker version of them.
They're
more
all
like
on
the comic.
heroin.
No, just
try living in a sewer and not develop a heroin addiction. Right. Jesus Christ!
Right?
That's it.
Okay,
I'll just leave it there. Nick, what do you got?
There.
Okay. So I've got the Healer family from Bluey, Crime Syndicate. I've also got Lois Griffin, serial killer, and the Powerpuff Girls, but a more serious version of them, thinking the boys. So, all right.
Ooh, all right.
Gen X Brian here from the Convincing Idiots podcast. If you're enjoying our show, tell a friend. And if you're not, well, tell 2 enemies.
This could be good.
I'm not going to waste any time. Tell me more about this loony porn, please.
Oh, well, this scene will be a lot like there'll be quick shots. It's not going to be like when you sit down and watch like a half hour.
What? I'm trying to figure out what female characters were in the original Looney Tunes. You got Granny.
Clarabelle?
Wait.
That's Disney.
Brian, could you be more old? This is the 21st century. This is woke. Why does it have to be girl on boy pornography?
That's true.
Okay.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
This guy.
Yeah.
So I'm picturing Elmer Fudd's got Daffy Duck. What's up?
I said, wow. And like, as we are just ending Pride Month, like, wow.
Right. And then he gets into this. Like, come on, man.
Stop forcing your hetero lifestyle on me.
Yeah.
God.
It's like Wabbit season. Duck season.
Right. And they're
Rabbit
animals.
season.
Some of them don't have the most defined gender. I mean, who wouldn't want to watch Tweety Bird with his or her little beak just drawn down, like taking all of Sylvester's big cat? Who wouldn't want to see that? I know I would.
I don't want to see that.
Well, turn the channel, because it's going to get worse than that. Because this is going to be like a half hour and it's going to be quick clips, maybe, not more than like a minute or two a piece, because we're going to keep rolling through.
Fuck attention and all that's going to be suffering tonight.
So there's going to be Elmer Fudd. He's going
to Bugs Bunny.
Dude, well, that's where it starts.
Yeah,
right.
And Elmer Fudd's like, "You don't fool me," and he just fucking pulls his Elmer hog out, and
his Elmer
Bugs
Fudd.
Or you have the scene. Remember where Elmer Fudd puts the shotgun down the hole?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't a shotgun anymore.
Yeah.
He's just fucking railing his fucking big bald hog down there, and Bugs just taking at it. I mean, there's so many opportunities. Tasmanian Devil.
It is a very sensual show now that you bring it up.
Right? Tasmanian Devil. I mean, this is where we kind of get into the German scat porn, but that's probably towards the later of the episode. When kids aren't watching. We're gonna have
with the big bald Elmer hog is fine for the children.
Stay with me here. I mean, this is revolutionary. Brian, who's your favorite Looney Tunes character?
Foghorn Leghorn.
Oh, well, you are going to be excited about this, because Foghorn Leghorn, he's got his own personal show. He's not even with another character. He just got him and Corn on the Cob, right? And he's just going to, it's like an OnlyFans filming. And he's going to be, in a hay hunt. You're going to love it. Trust me. I don't want to spoil anything, but you're gonna love it.
But you're not gonna want to eat that corn, or are you?
No.
No.
Well, Brian eats corn a long way anyway, so this is going to be fantastic. Everybody is going to watch Looney Tunes pornography.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
I'm in. Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. I'd like to elaborate on my Bluey one for starters.
Ooh, this is exciting.
So I've got the Healer family, right? So we're kind of thinking Sopranos, maybe a little bit. Like they're running a crime syndicate. They are otherwise seemingly nice people, upstanding members of the community and whatever. But where they actually make their money is from a dog fighting ring, actually ran by Chili. She's kind of the head honcho, if you will. But they're this big underground dog fighting ring that the Healer family runs. So
hold on. But they are dogs.
I know, that's why it's so fucked.
So it makes
like
it
that's,
more,
that's
it makes
why
it so dark.
that's why
Yeah.
it's so that's why it catches on so much.
I picture this scene in
and they know how to dupe the fighters into it.
Django Unchained. Have you ever seen it?
I've not, actually.
Okay. Well,
What?
They make
God.
It's one of the best Tarantino films. Anyways, where they're having the slaves like fight each other for everybody's enjoyment. So it's kind of like that, right?
Exactly.
So,
yeah. Well, that's the thing. They know how to get these dogs into it because they're one of them, right? Like, that's the last person you're going to expect to dupe you in a dog fighting ring is a fucking dog. So, yeah. And then turns out, now this is your life. And so they've kind of been duped. But, yeah, I think that would be good because they certainly play the role really nice, that they're nice, upstanding, loving little family. But they've all got their dark sides.
What I wouldn't give to see Bandit Breaking Bad. I'm in, buddy. I'm in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Right.
Yeah. Good one.
Brian.
I'm going to start with the Scooby-Doo Zombie Hunters. So I saw this. It was a T-shirt design. I think it was on TeePublic some time ago, and someone
They
came up
carry
with
great stuff, like Convincing Idiots merchandise.
They really do. They really do.
Mhm.
By the way, if you go to our TeePublic link, even if you buy another shirt, you don't need to buy one of our shirts. We still can benefit from just using our link, ladies and gentlemen. But someone came up with a really cool design. It was like a the Mystery Machine had like blood splattered on it, and it had like realistic looking Shaggy and Velma and Scooby Doo, and yeah, they were just zombie hunters. Yeah,
So there's
so
no more masks, right?
no more what?
Masks, like there's no more
Right.
like
There's
pulling
no
masks.
fake
This is
monsters.
like
These are like
real
Oh no,
zombies.
shit
no,
Yeah.
no,
happening.
no mask.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they're out there. It's they're in these post-apocalyptic world where zombies are there, and they are just hunting down zombies. So it's just a dark version of the of the Scooby Doo gang just trying to survive in that world. Scooby Doo is I mean they're all just kind of grizzled and the survivors, that type of thing. So just that
Too old for this
image
shit.
of that, yeah, just
Gee,
that image
Scoop,
of
did you
that.
see me shoot that zombie's face?
I just thought that was a cool concept.
Did you, Scooby?
Yeah.
Scooby ate the face after you shot it.
It wouldn't be that goofy version of Scooby Doo. It'd be the very
No.
violent Great Dane, that he, just
I ate his
again,
face,
just dark.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
A little more like that.
That's closer.
Zoinks.
Yeah. Yeah, see? I like that.
Yeah.
See? There you go.
Zoinks, bitch.
There you go. There you go.
Can
That's
we
it.
still
I just
get
think
the
it's a cool concept.
lesbianism from the other cartoon
could.
that they just did? All
You
right.
could.
I'm game.
You could.
Yeah.
You could. I mean, you're limited as far as humans out there, so you got some maybe tension there on that, between the gang, and there's a whole dynamic there and stuff. So, there you go.
Yeah,
But just
if you
that
want
image,
your rations,
that
you're
was a
gonna
cool
have to
idea.
touch it. All right,
Next.
I'm gonna go with. Okay, I'm looking forward to this one. Captain America, or not? I'm sorry, not Captain America. Captain Planet. Okay,
Mhm.
Captain Planet. Picture this. It is a post-apocalyptic landscape where Captain Planet, like Ultron from the Marvel movies, realized that we were such pieces of shit. The only way to save the planet was to kill all of us. So he didn't quite wipe out all of humanity, but the majority of it. The rest are living underground and in kind of tent cities trying to escape Captain Planet, who has gone mad. And these 5 kids, it's 5 or 6, I don't remember, but whatever the kids win, water, earth, they all survived. And this movie is about them trying to stop Captain Planet from destroying the rest of humanity.
Oh.
They and the darkness of it comes because this isn't the first time they tried. They realized before and they failed. He defeated them. So now you have the wind and water, each one of them has their own problems going forward. One's got a drinking problem, one's addicted to drugs, one's just you can take so many different real hard shit for
making
all
movies
these
for the
kids.
Looney Tunes. It's the whole thing.
Yeah. And they've all got their own shit, and this sets up maybe 10-15 years after he's wiped out humanity, and these kids got to come back together, which are now middle-aged whatever people with their own problems, but they still have those rings, and now they have to figure out how to defeat their creation.
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's good.
So you have the message of wanting to save the planet, but you also have the message of going too far and killing all of us in the process, and now trying to fix what you did 15-20 years earlier. So
Yeah,
good.
Captain Planet, Apocalypse Now.
Nice.
Did you know that Captain Planet was partially co-created by Ted Turner? Callback. There you
That's
go.
Really?
That's
Mhm.
right.
Oh shit.
You pay
Yes.
attention.
I think we did talk. I think we did. Yeah,
we
I was
did.
say
We
it was.
sure did.
Did we talk?
talked
Did I
about
hear
that.
about that on this show?
Yeah,
I think I
yeah,
did.
she
Okay.
blew your
Yeah, a
mind.
couple
Right
weeks
here.
ago. Yeah.
Right here.
Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Blew my mind
Nick?
so much I forgot about it altogether.
Mhm.
All right. Next up, we've got this one focuses. This one takes place in Quahog, Rhode Island. It focuses around the Griffin family, but more so Lois. Lois Griffin is the fixture of this show. Lois Griffin in past episodes of Family Guy, obviously it's it's a cartoon, it's goofy, it's funny, it's whatever, but we have seen Lois snap on occasion. She
Mm-hmm.
has had a tendency to kind of lose it and go nuts, and let's face it, I mean, her husband is neglectful and an alcoholic and quite useless and helpless in many ways. Um, her children are all their
You
own
just
basket
described the
cases.
three of us.
Her children are their own basket cases, and probably the best of her children are the one that people care about the very least. They give no attention to. Meg is probably the most together of the three children. They're all having their issues, and Lois is doing her best day to day to keep everything together. But she slowly but surely is losing her grip on reality. It's hard to keep it together, and she has to find some way to get these aggressions out, right? She every now and again she just snaps. She can't help herself. Well, she finds that the only thing that she can do to kind of calm her nerves it's a bloodlust. She has to kill. It's the only thing that brings her peace. So at night, when her husband is drunk and passed out and her kids are all in bed, she goes out on a rampage. She keeps it under. I'm thinking along the lines of like a Dexter, right? To where like
Okay.
she's living her life day to day. She's continuing on, but she must kill in order for her own sanity. So let's just say like a what do they call those rooms that you go into that you just break everything like a break
Rage rooms.
as a rage yeah.
Yeah.
This is her rage room, but she has to actually kill in order to do it. So she goes out, and every so often she gets this urge. She just can't take it anymore to where she snaps. And she has to kill. She must kill. Lois Griffin must kill in order to carry on with her day to day life. It's the only thing that keeps the demons at bay.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good.
Brian, what do you got next for us?
I want to talk about Thundar the Barbarian. Do you guys know what Thundar the Barbarian is? Dean might.
I don't know that I do. I feel like I've heard of
recognize
Thundar,
the
but
name, but I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, Thundar the Barbarian was a Hanna-Barbera show in the early, God, was it early 80s? I think it was. Jesus. But the premise was, I have there's like a couple, 2-3 seasons, whatever it is. I have the DVD box set, whatever. Interesting concept. So in the show, they showed the year 1994. The world ended. Basically, some type of comet went too close to the Earth, and it knocked off the moon's orbit or something, and created this destruction on Earth. And but out of the rubble of ruin, it's like a whole barbaric civilization, I'm trying to say here. So
Okay.
it was really pretty cool because the scenes went from they would go to different parts of the world, and there would be ruins of Big Ben or the Statue of Liberty. They were in New York or whatever it was. They traveled around different parts of the earth. But he was literally a barbarian, but he had some type of like it was a sun sword, not unlike like a lightsaber type of thing. It's, whatever, but just a strong guy with a sword. He hung out with a creature, this mock guy. I can't see my shirt, I know, but just a big alien creature, and then a sorceress. They would just go on these adventures, and you'd find pockets of people
I don't
that
know
were
who's who, but
surviving
I think
somewhere.
you just described the three of us.
Yeah, that's right.
I think you're the creature.
Yeah, I would assume.
You're the
I
mock.
kinda thought
Ookla
that.
the mock. It was.
Yeah.
But it just the concept was very interesting, even as a kid. And of course, but it was a kid show, so there wasn't really any violence. There was some darker themes to it, but I thought if you take that premise where you got so many things going on there, it's post-apocalyptic Earth. There's different scenes, different ruins of things that you recognize, and it's a barbarian with an alien and a sorceress, and you're fighting. In some of these episodes, literally werewolves or other aliens or pockets of humans that are trying to survive. It's kind of turned where you're trying to save. It was just there's so many things that you could do with it. It could be an ongoing series where it's just more adult themed, where you have violence and just a darker tone to it, that type of thing. So I just think it'd be pretty cool. Not that if you've seen the show, you might agree. If you're a Gen X
So
person, you probably definitely saw it. But
it's kind of
uh,
like He-Man meets Last of Us.
yeah, kind
Yeah.
of. He-Man, it's like sort of like that. It was more like
Okay.
Conan type of stuff. It definitely was
Okay.
influenced by Conan the Barbarian, for
Okay.
sure. But it's that type of thing. Yeah, it's He-Man. It's got the aliens and different things, but it's darker.
Okay. I like that.
So yeah, there you go.
Cool.
Dean, I think you're next.
I'm next. I'm going to finish up with Garfield and Friends serial killers. I don't know if you've know this about me, but from a child, I have been a fan of Garfield. He's my favorite cartoon character, comic book or comic strip character. Huge fan, and I would like to see this version of Garfield. This movie starts with John Arbuckle having insomnia. Not quite different than Fight Club. The narrator having insomnia. And John, things just aren't right when he wakes. Because he sleeps in weird patterns, and when he wakes up, things are weird and things aren't quite right. But what you ultimately find out is that his cat Garfield has been gaslighting him, because Garfield is the serial killer, and he's using John, almost scapegoat Patsy, but the useful idiot, to get away with murdering. It starts out, the first kill is the local Italian restaurant owner who wouldn't give him lasagna, and Garfield snaps and he kills him.
Sure.
He will use Odie throughout the time to pull out his schemes and to kill, and get what he wants. So maybe not necessarily a serial killer in the sense of like Ted Bundy, but kind of a Ted Bundy mixed with the Sopranos. You know what I mean? Like there's a purpose in these murders. He's a glutton. We know that from the original show. He's a gluttonous animal, who will do nothing to quench his thirst for what starts to be food, then slowly gains into power. But the crux of the movie is John not understanding this, because it's a cat.
Right.
Why would I think my cat's murdering people? And ultimately he gets framed for it. He gets called out and put in jail for all this that Garfield does. I mean, spoiler alert.
The lasagna is a bit more meaty tonight.
Right. I mean,
It's
that's a route you
lasagna.
could go, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like there's a lot of I mean, because they're animals. You're not necessarily thinking how horrible it is to cut people up and feed it to people, but like maybe that's maybe that's a scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has Odie working, the grinder.
Mm-hmm.
Garfield, and you
Yeah.
thought he hated Mondays.
Mm.
And then you have like a meat grinder and Normal's tail just flapping, sticking out of it. I like
like
this.
that.
So
Yeah.
Garfield, serial killer.
Garfield the
right.
serial killer. All right.
Hmm.
Coming up next, I've got the Powerpuff Girls, right? So we're thinking in line with eventually what they're getting to is they're evolving into something that is akin to the boys, which I've never seen, but I understand essentially what the plot is. So when Blossom, Buttercup, and Bubbles are created in a lab with sugar, spice, everything nice, and the secret ingredient chemical X, thus giving them superpowers. They're children. They're little girls. They're like, above toddlers certainly, but they're like probably 6, 7, 8 year old little girls, right? Well, as they are spending their time, defending the city of Townsville, um, as little girls, they're growing up, right? And as anyone with a teenage girl who may be listening might know, some more than others, but it could probably be a little, going through puberty with a teenage girl gets a little dicey, right? It's a lot of changes going on, a lot of emotions. Some teenage girls can even be, quite catty, quite selfish, quite, there's a lot of hormones and things going on. So I picture that the girls, as they enter their
Your
teen
mom
years,
said that you were a lot like that. But anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, yes, she's correct. I was very catty, still am. But yeah, I like to imagine that through their teenage years, maybe you think of like a childhood star, right? They don't really have any. If you're someone who's been famous from childhood, you do struggle to adjust to a world amongst normal people. You've never had that. You don't know what's normal. You don't know how to adjust or relate to other people. So I feel like that could serve as a pathway to the Powerpuff Girls kind of being in a similar. They've been superheroes their entire lives since they were little girls. So like as they reach teenage years and then further into womanhood, they may struggle to have a proper barometer of what is maybe morally right, what is maybe serving their own interests instead of the city of Townsville, right? So I just like to think of those three. I think there's a lot you could do in a dramatic Powerpuff Girls role with grown up girls becoming women and trying to navigate a lifetime of being superheroes along with trying to find their own way through life and who they are.
I like
Hmm.
one of them to be like her thing is like fuck random dudes and like beat the shit out of them afterwards and
That's Buttercup
throw them on
for
the
sure.
street and just leave
Yep.
them there to
Yep.
to be found or dead or whatever. She doesn't give a shit.
She just uses them and leaves them off to the side of the
Yeah.
road. Yeah, that's a Buttercup ass move. Yep, for sure.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll watch this movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Brian, your final one.
Final one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it's really kind of going back to their roots, honestly.
Mhm.
So I know I've talked about this a long time ago,
Claiming
but
all of my roots.
I collected the original series back in the comic book series back in the 80s. And when it started, before they, had the animated show and everything else, it was a dark
Sure.
martial arts story is kind of what it was. I mean, the turtles were there, but they weren't the goofy teenage, eating pizza and all that stuff. None of that came about till the rights were sold and the animated show came out, and then of course the movies and everything else. I like that version. It's fine. It's fun. I get it. I really enjoyed the last Seth Rogen animated movies that they did, and
Yeah, Mutant Mayhem,
I
very
thought that
good.
was, I thought that was well done.
Yep.
Very good, a lot of fun. But the original story really leaned into these are trained martial artists, and they really,
Damn near
Splinter's more of the
assassins.
true, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Splinter's more of a true master. So it had that whole vibe to it. So the same characters, Casey Jones, guy living on the crime fighter, beating up people with a fucking baseball bat with a hockey mask and everything.
Yeah.
So it was just a darker story. So I'd like to see that version come back. And I know they were planning that Ronin movie, which was a graphic novel where 3 of the turtles were killed and one of them was going to go on and avenge the other, but they canceled it because I guess they felt that it's just not family friendly. They want to keep the turtles to the teenage,
Such
and I get
bullshit.
it, I understand it, but
No, come
I
on, that
still
would
you
have
can
been
have
awesome.
both.
it would
You
be
know,
awesome.
yeah, you can
I think
have
there's a
that.
market for this to where you can keep the same storyline with the teenage turtles
Absolutely.
eating pizza, but you can still have another alternate version of them. Maybe they're older or something where it's that dark, gritty
Yeah.
martial art. You get
The
the same
character
characters
of
and
Batman
everything.
doesn't belong to any kids any less because of the Dark Knight,
Right.
right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's
Right.
it's you can have both.
Right.
I want one of those turtles just to be, almost abusively obnoxious because he can't figure out how to get his dick out of his shell.
Could be.
That'd
Could
be
be.
awesome.
April's flirting with him. He can't figure it out.
Right?
Yeah.
This
Like
goes
she
out and
really wants it, and he's like, I don't know where it
yeah,
is. God
this
damn it.
goes out and beheads like 50 foot clan members or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Fine,
I
I'll
like
just go back into the pickle jar. It's fine. I'll take care of it myself.
That's right.
Anyway,
If
give
I
me that
rub this
storyline. I
spot.
like it.
Yeah.
You could do
Huge
that.
fan.
Be a
Yeah,
very cool
I like
animated
that.
series. Why not?
Okay. I like that. All right. Well, that's everybody's, right? We've all mentioned our
Yep.
3 apiece.
I think
I
so.
immediately want to co-sign one. My favorite pitch that I heard that I legitimately, I'm like, God damn, I'm like, I want to watch this is the Captain Planet one. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'll give
thank
you
you.
that.
really
Thank you.
well thought out,
Yeah.
like really well. I'm
Yeah.
like,
I
I
like it.
I want to see that. I want to co-sign the Captain Planet one
All right.
right off the rip. Like that was my favorite one I heard that I was like,
Yeah.
that's intriguing. I like that.
Yeah, well done.
So,
I
Captain
agree with
Planet.
you.
Yep. Very good. Yeah, let's see. These were all pretty good. I like them.
All right. Let me jump in here. I honestly, I mean, we've seen different iterations, and it's all even was it, maybe Showtime or HBO Max or whatever had the mystery gang, in kind of a more real situation. But like,
yeah.
I like the idea of Scooby Doo getting fucking real. I mean,
Yeah.
and you could do the zombies, but like throughout this series, if it's going to be a series and not a movie, you don't necessarily have, the zombies could be like the coming in part of, throughout the whole series, but you could do different mysteries, but like real fucking mysteries. Like there's no mask pulling, and you can get like real evil shit going on. You can make, one of Daphne or Velma, almost a witch. You know what I mean? Like practicing the dark arts to like, I think there's a lot of stuff you could do in like a real dark Scooby Doo. So I'm gonna second this one. I like this idea.
Yeah, and I like the idea of Scooby Doo, being like a menacing, like an attack dog, like an actual,
Yes,
you know
that's
what I mean,
right.
like a realistic.
Yeah, but
like,
you also, I mean, I get what Brian was saying earlier about like you don't want to keep him goofy, but you also don't want to lose the essence of of like,
almost
because
the
like
humanity of Scooby Doo. You mean like
the humanity is Scooby and Shaggy, so you can make them stoners and kind of make them goofy, but when that switch flips, they're on the shit. You know what I mean? Like Scooby turns into a gnarling, drool thing, but like when he's not, you're Cheech and Chong. You know what I mean? And like a real Cheech and Chong. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think that's what helps that transition.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I like the Scooby Doo one.
We're gonna do that.
Okay.
Yep. Unanimous.
Who's going to say? Anybody got anything, or they want to hear a little more on something?
Let's see. I want to
recap them a little bit. What's left then, just real quick. Sorry.
All right. So we have Looney Tunes porn, Garfield serial killers, Bluey Sopranos, Lois Griffin serial killers, Powerpuff Girls, as like kind of the boys, Thundar, kind of an updated Thundar Real series, and Ninja Turtles, real life drama in that.
I do like
Go ahead, Nick.
like the Ninja Turtles thing because, like you said, the roots of the Ninja Turtles are it is kind of darker, and really there's a lot to go, and they kind of touch on it in some of the live action movies, and certainly in the Mutant Mayhem, even where they have this longing to. I mean, they're outcasts. Luckily there's the four of them. They all have the four of each other to lean on, and Splinter, but like they long to be a part of society. They long to be normal, and there's a lot you can dig into with the complications of how like those feelings
up
would
your
feel.
psyche.
Yeah, right. And to be like, some people will look at it like, the X-Men did in those movies where it's like, they'll never accept us. Like we're always going to be freaks to them and could be resentful of that, while others could still, take a softer approach to it and be like, I think if they see who we are and, that we're helpful and that, that there's in this world we can be accepted and even infighting in between them in that, I think that you could do a lot with that. You could do a whole lot with their live action. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like
we have to live. We have to live amongst their fucking waste and their shit. Like, how can you say that they'll accept us when we have to live down here and we have to, you know what I mean? Like, there's all that.
You have picture this. You have half the movie or 3/4 of the movie of like them kind of slightly being introduced in different ways, through YouTube videos or hidden, where like little ways they're being softly introduced to society, to where you kind of culminate to like the good old-fashioned old-time movies where like, yeah, the turtles are cool, but then they see Shredder and everybody freaks the fuck out and kills him, right? Like they freak the fuck out. And I'm not saying this as a tongue-in-cheek, like, you can go this a different route, but the idea of like they're finally accepted, but they see their master, and that and society or a mob or whatever freaks out, and then that flips them to be like, all right, we're done. Now it's on you, and they become like almost anti-villains type thing, still fighting Shredder and all that, but also they're no friends of like humanity who just killed their master. I mean, that's that you can get real deep into that too.
Sure.
You got cool villains, Bebop and Rocksteady. You can have really super weird, dark versions of those guys, and there's a lot of layers to that.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yep. Right. Put the turtles on there. Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Throw them up there.
I'm going to second the Bluey Crime Syndicate. I just love that idea.
I was going to do that as well.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I like that a lot, especially people that are. I mean, we've watched a number of Bluey episodes here because Marlo's a big fan, even now as a young adult. It's
a great show. It's my favorite children's show to watch without children.
Actually, next week for our 300th episode, I actually just purchased a short sleeve button down Bluey shirt that I will wear next week.
There you go. Nice.
In celebration. Because awesome. Nora's a big fan, so I've become very acquainted and quite enjoy the episodes. But I really like this idea of them being, secretly kind of badasses, or at least the parents. I mean, I don't know, Nick, is your idea is that the kids know?
No,
is it Bandit and the mom?
It's definitely Chili and Bandit leading things, and I think maybe there's an element there of I like the idea of maybe one of them, Bluey and Bingo. One of them maybe takes a little more to that life. Maybe I'm thinking Bingo. Bingo takes a little more to that life because they're younger, and she thinks that that's the thing to do. And Bluey maybe as she gets older starts to see that.
Yeah,
I know not to cross my parents because I know the people they are behind closed doors or the dogs they are behind closed doors.
They don't exactly know what their parents are doing or are capable of, but they know it's something real.
Something's amiss. Yeah, and Bluey's probably old enough to have the conscience about it to be like, should probably tread lightly here, but I don't know if this life is for me, kind of thing.
And
I like that idea, that dynamic.
you have that one scene where like a kid, is mouthing off or takes something from Bingo, and she kind of fucking snaps and like turns into like quote unquote her dad, like
Yeah.
fucking drag, hold him down, and who you're messing with, that type of
Yeah.
thing. Where you're
Yeah.
like, oh shit,
Yeah, he's
she's the
capable
one
of
that's
that. They're capable. Yeah.
yeah,
Right. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You could
fucking
get pretty dark
snarling
with it.
teeth. Yeah, I
Mhm.
like that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I like it. Good.
All right,
Mm.
we need one more, boys.
All right.
For me, I keep going back and forth on the idea of either Lois or Garfield as a serial killers. Both are intriguing concepts in their own
Okay.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So we're clear that we don't want to see Elmer Fudd's dick.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
nobody
pretty.
said that. Well, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I,
All right.
I didn't say that.
All right.
No,
Just-
Dean.
just-
The
just
problem with the
checking.
Looney Tunes porn is it does already exist. So
Yeah.
I've already
Okay.
seen it, and I'm not taking away from the artistry or the ingenuity
Sure.
that comes from making it.
Okay.
But it is out there. It is out there.
That's fair.
Yeah, in my head, I think the main difference is it depends on how, because Dean's Garfield serial killers is a little more out there, which is not a bad thing. It's, you know what I mean? It's in a fun way. Like it's because you have a cat that's doing it.
Yeah,
They
I
are
like the
very
idea.
similar.
I like the idea of like John, like he thinks the serial killer is the cat, but is it the cat or is it
People would
him?
find him crazy if
Yeah,
he
is
said
he
it.
is he the real serial killer and he
Right.
thinks the cat is, or is the cat really doing it? You could have
Yeah.
that whole dynamic
Starts
there
to,
where you just
fuck with
don't
his
know.
head, where he's like, "Am I just losing it? Like,
And
is he
Right.
insane?"
If you
Right.
wanted to, at the end of the movie, like, that final twist is it's always been John, and like he's put this whole scenario of
Yeah,
the cat doing all this, and like
right.
you go back and John's always done it the whole time.
Yeah.
So
I
you
like
fuck
it.
the audience of thinking,
Yeah.
Garfield's this cool, serial killer,
Mhm.
and you're like, no, John's
He
just
created the
a
narrative in
crazy
his
human
mind
being.
for that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then it
There's
ends where
so
Odie
many
kills
different
John, fucks everybody up.
Yep.
Yeah, and then like he walks away like Kaiser Sose without the limp, and then Jim walks out normal.
Yep.
Fucking Odie throws out a cigarette and gets in a car.
I
Yeah.
like it.
You flipped me on
Makes
that. Even
no
though
sense.
the lowest one was mine, I like the Garfield one because it reminds me. Dean, do you remember a show we used to both watch it back in the day called Wilfred that was on FX with Elijah Wood?
So fantastic.
So the whole
One of
thing
the
was
best shows.
Brian. Did you ever watch Wilfred when it was on FX?
I don't think so.
Long story
you
short,
know if you did.
Elijah Wood was a guy, and he owned a dog. But the way he viewed this dog
Okay.
was
Right.
like he was an Australian
Right.
guy in a dog costume that just said fucked up shit and was like walked around like a regular dude. Everybody else saw him as a dog, and like so when he would see him, he's seeing this guy with the black nose and the dog. It's a really goofy. He's just wearing a dog costume, and he's kind of a scumbag. And this is kind of the how he views his dog, that
Right.
his pet dog. But everybody else sees a regular dog. Well, as the show unfolds, it becomes you find out. I mean, I don't want to give spoilers, but the show's been off the air for probably like 15 years. So if you
Right.
haven't watched
Right.
Wilfred yet, you're probably not
You're
gonna.
fucked.
But it
Right.
gets pretty whack in there when it's like you find out that he's mentally not well, and he's creating all these scenarios and all this stuff in his head. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool that I like the idea of that you don't really know. It's like, are you in John's brain, or is John crazy, or
Right.
is John can't be believed because something crazy is actually fucking happening? Like that. I like that
Right.
dynamic.
But throughout the
Yeah.
movie, you have to keep people on the line of going, Garfield's real. Like everybody else is fucked, and John's right until
Yeah.
the end. Like
Right.
that, you need to teeter that line, but keep it more on the idea that Garfield's real.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, but I like the end. I like something like that. The ending to be completely subjective, to where it's like, what do you think? Like when you walk out from that and go, what do you think it was, and why? You know what I mean? That there's no firm answer. The director or the storyline doesn't tell you in black and white what happened. You have to
Right.
walk out wondering,
Absolutely.
and it gives a talking point to be like, well, what do you think? So that's cool.
That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
Garfield.
All right.
All right, boys. So our final list for our animated show characters that we want to see in a real setting. Number
That wasn't
one, we had.
clunky at all. That was fine. Very smooth. Very effortless.
Well, we didn't fucking whatever.
Wait a minute. Whose idea was this, Nick? I gotta remember here.
Okay,
Get over
do you
that.
want me to say my original pitch? It's about pornography. I wanted to see Bugs Bunny fuck something.
You wanted to
That's-
know which cartoon characters you wanted to see fuck each other and how might that
Right.
look.
That's why
Yep.
I lightened it up for you guys. All right. So
Mhm.
first, Captain Planet Apocalypse.
Yep.
Then we have Scooby-Doo Zombieland, Ninja Turtles in the real version, Bluey's in their soprano form, and Garfield as a serial killer.
Good.
Very good.
I like it.
I like
That's
that.
a good list, boys.
This was a fun one. And I'll tell you what, if anybody's listening to this portion of the show, if anybody would like to email us your own submission, perhaps, we will look through them and talk about them. And if we will pick a favorite, and whoever we choose, I will send you a free shirt of your choosing from the Convincing Idiots merch store. So that's
Indeed.
our little contest of the week. If you can, I'd like people to submit their own, TV show or movie in the spirit of this. Take a cartoon character, put them in
You
a
should have
different
seen
role.
the
and
T-shirt
we'll
that
pick
the
a favorite.
last
Send
person
you a
who
shirt.
won. Last person in the contest Nick put out there. They picked out a good shirt. So
Was it Elmer Fudd sticking something in a hole?
no, that's that was the drawing that I sent to you, asking you to do to me. No, never mind. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right. So, if you would like to make a submission, you could send us an email, which you can find a link to where? That's right, on our link tree. So go to Google, type in Convincing Idiots, LINKTREE link tree, and not only are you going to find our email address on there, but as well as where you can subscribe and listen to this podcast each and every week, all our social media accounts for you to follow along with us, the merch store, so maybe you can see if you win what kind of shirt you've got your eye on. And you can also go to our website, which is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. For episode 299 of Convincing Idiots, I'm Millennial Nick.
I'm the Zennial Dean.
Gen X Brian.
Have we convinced you to join us for another episode and see what other creations we can come up with?
Like the 300th episode. Just gonna be a fucking circle jerk.
Cartoon Dicks.
Zennial Dean, Gen X Brian, Millennial Nick. If you like what you saw, like and subscribe.
Ham gravy.
Hey, look, Brian
should
does
make
know
one
how
of
to
those.
hit
That'd
the
be funny.
record button.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah. Trying to do that shit again, tell you that.
299 episodes, but goddamn it, we got this down.
Look at us. How's my lighting? I got a new lamp behind me here.
Yeah, it's good. Less glare for sure. Like I don't see.
What's
I've been
the
seeing.
glasses?
Oh, is that what? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I made sure I got
Right.
anti-glare glasses. Boy, did
Okay.
I fucking pay for it.
Yeah, it's definitely more expensive, that's for sure.
Mhm. Yeah. But now I don't need to, like, you guys aren't blurry. You know what I mean? Like, I can now, like, look at you and see fine and read this and see fine and see. Yeah. So I don't
Yeah.
need to, like, just have readers where I have to pull them down to read and then look up. It's all just one shot here, so.
At least you got all that podcast money to where like you can afford those good lenses.
That's right. Brian's supposed to send me a check, I think, but we'll see. We'll see.
It's on the way.
Yeah.
It's on the way. But that bridge is out, I can't
Yeah,
get to the
there's
post
a lot of-
office.
yeah, it's a lot of
it's a
things
pain
going
in the
on.
ass.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait.